because a lot of times what happens is you hear just the beginning of these shows, that shows, and you're not following all the way back, and I get a lot of responses that I already answered. But on the same note, I do feel bad about not getting to these, and I do often want to answer, and it's just a difficult thing to find the time to answer all of the emails. I'm sorry, and a lot of times it's just too much to write. The question may be simple, the answer is not. So just be aware that I do read, as many of the emails as I can, and I would love to answer them all, but I just can't. And MySpace, forget about it. I have the worst time answering on MySpace because it just takes too long. I'm sorry. Usually when I'm on this thing, on the beast, in the internet, I have things to do. I'm thinking, I'm studying, and I have to set aside time or something for sort of response time. But there's just so much to do. So much to do. Well, I'm wondering still if this show's even going to make it on air in time, but so let's just recap a little bit and think about this. All right, so Michael Jackson has died. The world is in mourning while Obama is discussing nuclear proliferation with the president of Russia. No one's thinking about nuke arms. Nobody's thinking about that right now. They're concerned with Michael Jackson. I can understand Alex's freak out, but at the same time, I also find that he spent probably about 5-10 minutes on Michael himself, just ranting about how people were wasting their time talking about Michael. There were, some horrible parts in this whole story where I think it was TMZ and Us Weekly announcing that the kids were not actually Michael's. Come on. And just the frenzy that went into this Mars Day celebration during a lunar eclipse. Now, we are having a triple eclipse, and I meant to get to that, so let me get you that data real fast. You can look it up for yourself if you like. The triple eclipse that is occurring, the first one was today. I was trying to get a good time zone as to when it was going to be seen from the U.S., but I think we already missed it, and it also said that it wasn't worth seeing. So we have this massive triple eclipse that some are even saying might bode trouble. It's a rare astronomical event. Has long been a forewarning of gloom, and it even says that the ancient city of Dwarka in 3031 BC, World War I and World War II in 1914 and 39 ran just in coincidence with a triple eclipse. So, here we are discussing World War III, and the astrological phenomenon comes and it makes an appearance on July 7th, which is today, a minor lunar eclipse. And then on July 22nd, a solar eclipse, and then on August 6th, a lunar eclipse. And so astrologers predict unfavorable times ahead, surprise, surprise, and warn of all manner of impediments in people's lives. Yeah, I'm not surprised. So astrologically, this is forecasting for trouble. And there were the crop circles that popped up. So one, and I find these on AboveTopSecret.com. I really enjoy this forum a lot. I don't even think I have it linked to the blog or the website. I'll get that taken care of. But Above Top Secret forum is a really great one, and you'll find links to all kinds of interesting stories. So there was a very intricate crop circle that popped up and was deciphered by a group, and it was leading to the idea of a coronal mass ejection occurring on today, 7/7. Actually, the potential of 5, because the symbolic nature of the crop circle was showing a potential of 5 solar flares. Now, the analysis and the decipherment of the crop circle is very intriguing. I highly recommend it. I will get these linked up, but just Google either, the new crop circles. You'll find it at earthfiles.com, and you'll also find them at cropcircleconnector.com, I think it's called. And this one is very intriguing, the very first one. Then the other one is the jellyfish one, which I was actually hoping to get a chance to go see in England, but it just wasn't possible. So it did outline a date. It outlined positions of the planets. And you got to wonder with these crop circles, who are they being projected for? Now, there is obvious scientific data being expressed in these crop circles. We're talking hyperdimensional physics, spherical geometry, sacred geometry, solar physics, and many different levels of reality being revealed through crop circles. And you got to really wonder what's going on. I wanted to get deeper into this study, but have not had a chance to do that. So there were two crop circles. One that was first looked like a planetary alignment showing the date, which seemed to suggest today. But then, of course, once you take in the crop circle, then it has a date, it has something. Now, here's a curious note, because I went ahead and checked the SOHO satellite, which you can find on freemantv.com as well, under Watch the Sun. I went to check to see what the data was and see whether the sun was predicted to erupt by SOHO. And it was saying, no, absolutely, clear skies ahead, minor potential for, I think it was a C-class flare. Now, the ones that you really want to watch out for are M-class and X-class. These are the ones that are causing superstorms and shutting down power grids. But the curious thing is that the sun has been completely silent for this time. There has been no solar spot activity, and this was a mystery as well, as to why the sun just went completely quiet. So for the past few months, we've had this downtime waiting for the eruption. And so it is potential, you know how these things go, that these forces are building, and that the one eruption would be massive after this dead zone. So the sun has been completely silent. This crop circle, actually two crop circles, because the second one was the jellyfish crop circle, which some were also suggesting was stating, well, what it looked like was the magnetosphere after being hit by a solar flare. So the impact of a solar flare on the magnetosphere actually creates a jellyfish type shape. And you can look up that in scientific data as a solar flare hitting the magnetosphere. And then they took the dates by the number of circles that were in the bottom of the jellyfish and the number of arms or tentacles the jellyfish had, which were 7 and 7, and putting that together as a connection for today being a massive solar flare. And then there's also a representation of what they say looks like a lunar eclipse or an eclipse in the crop circle as well. So they also had that connection because there was a lunar eclipse today. There is also another one on the 22nd. And there are many connections to eclipses and earthquakes and storms of that nature as well, especially if we're looking at a solar flare at the same time. So it was a very large potential. But so then after looking at the data, seeing that there was no scientific potential for a coming solar flare, then I got a report. Sure enough, suddenly today, a strange solar spot, I think it was number 1024, showed up out of nowhere, and it was a bit of a mystery. There was not an eruption, but there was the potential of eruptions from this, and even a potential of 5 eruptions, which was what some of them were saying was going to come due to the premonition of this crop circle. So, very curious things, and it always takes a bit of knowledge and analysis. You know, there's a puzzle that we're trying to put together, and it's sometimes rather difficult because we do not have all the pieces, and we don't know what the puzzle is, which makes it a little more complicated. So we are looking, we are trying to decipher, we are trying to understand. This is the mystery that is life, and that is all I ever want to bring to you, is wonder and more wonder, so that we can look at the world with wonder, and that will bring about the innovation necessary to change life on planet Earth as we know it, because, as you know, it needs to change. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you guys all love going to your jobs every day. Maybe you realize that eating the planet up for economy is the way to go. Or you just agree with the Illuminati and say, well, it's time to kill off a good portion of the population of the planet and we could do better. But the problem actually is the system, and our reason for existence, the reason we live, is the problem. And we need to reorder that. And it is these secret orders that I discussed that are manufacturing our reality. They are programming us with every form of media that is possible, and they are using this to get their way. They are forcing an agenda on us by making us do what they want us to do, by tweaking our emotions in these ways. So keep that in mind and keep your reaction